Hey guys, let's discuss new round, which is round 10, leadership principle, customer obsession. Okay, so here we will be seeing the answer based on three roles. Okay, the first one is software engineer, 3 to 7 years of experience, senior software engineers, 7 to 12 years of experience, and then principal software engineer or architect. Okay, above 12 plus. Now, let's say they will ask you question related to customer obsession, and which is tell me about a time when you went above and beyond for the customer. Okay, so let's see what everybody will answer, but before that, let's discuss that in this question, the interviewer is not looking for I worked hard for the customer. Okay, they want evidence that started with the customer problem. Okay, you started with the customer problem first, then you used the data which was available that time, then you took the ownership, made trade-offs, and delivered measurable business impact. So this is what they wanted to see. Again, expectation differ by level. Okay, so software engineer solved customer problem through implementation, and senior software engineer identified customer pain points, influenced multiple teams, and improved customer experience. After that, principal engineer or architect will concentrate on draw organization wide improvement while long term customer impact. Okay, so now let's see what software engineer will say for this. So his expected answer would be based on STAR method. Okay, STAR means STAR, situation, task, and then action, and then result. So situation will be something like this. Okay, in front of him is in one of our e-commerce application, we started receiving customer complaint. Okay, that the checkout page was taking more than 8 to 10 seconds during peak traffic. Many customer abandoned their carts before completing payments. Okay, so let's say one means the customers are trying to book the order. Okay, and but it is taking 8 to 10 seconds, so definitely you will leave the cart. Okay, and you will just switch off the application, and then or you will change the application, right? Your focus will divert to something else during that time. So this was the problem. Now the task he had was, although the issue was not assigned to me directly, I decided to investigate because it was affecting customer experience and revenue. Okay, it was not assigned to him, but still he jumped in, and then just to improve, because it was affecting customer experience and revenue, that's why. So this was the customer focused task, right? So now action would be, I performed the following steps. Okay, analyzed application logs, that is the first thing he did. Then reviewed APM means application performance monitoring dashboards, and compared API latency before and after recent releases. Okay, after that, identified repeated database queries causing delays, and then added Redis caching for frequently access to product metadata. After that, optimized too slow SQL queries, reduced unnecessary synchronous API calls, and coordinated deployment with QA. So what basically on high level he will be, he will take the action. The very first thing is logs. Okay, then the monitoring, the application metrics. Okay, after that, API latency before and after releases. Okay, he will check the API latency, how much time that API was taking before release and after release. Okay, and then identified repeated database queries causing delays. Okay, there might be the database queries which you need to optimize. Then he will introduce a caching. Okay, after that, too slow SQL query he will optimize, that is what I said. Reduced unnecessary synchronous API calls. Okay, where you can wait, there you just introduce asynchronous API call. Okay, messaging queue, so that it will take care in the another thread, and you can continue with the main thread. Okay, and then coordinate deployment with QA. So this is what he will be answering. And then what will be the result after this? Checkout latency reduced from 8 second to 2.5 second. Okay, after that, cart abandonment decreased by 18%, customer complaint reduced significantly, and revenue during peak traffic improved. Now, why this demonstrates customer obsession here? Instead of waiting for someone else to fix the issue, I proactively investigated the customer problem and focused on improving the user experiences. Okay, now senior software engineer, 7 to 12 years of experience, what expected to answer for this is, the situation in front of him was, our payment service was technically healthy according to infrastructure metrics. Okay, so the infrastructure metrics, what he see in that dashboard, okay, the payment service was not showing any error or something. But customer support tickets related to failed checkout increased by nearly 30%, but still checkout was failing, right? When you book a order, that time you do the checkout and then payment service will get called, okay? So that checkout was having the issues, customer issues was increasing by 30%. So what would be the task in front of him is that I wanted to determine why customer were facing failure even though our dashboard indicates the system was operating normally, right? So action he will be taking, I gathered data from multiple sources, okay? Same thing he will also do, like customer support ticket, okay, application log, distributed tracing, payment gateway responses, okay, because payment service he need to check, then business metrics, what all thing he will check, key measurement that shows how the business is performing, okay, such as revenue, customer growth and retention. Then conversion dashboard, so dashboard that tracks how many users complete a desired action such as signing up, making a purchase and then subscribing. So conversion dashboard, which is converting your order booking things, right? I discovered that payment retries were creating duplicate request, okay? Here the problem was duplicate request. So customer believes that payment had failed, some duplicate transactions were rejected by the payment provider. So I then introduced idempotency key because it was related to the duplicate payment, okay? Idempotency key he will introduce, then improved timeout handling, and added better customer facing error messages, implemented exponential backoff, and then enhanced monitoring for payment failure. What would be the result with this action? Checkout success rate improved by 96% to 99.7%, and payment related support ticket, okay, reduced by 40%, customer satisfaction improved, and duplicate payment incidents were nearly eliminated. Now, why this demonstrate a customer obsession? So instead of assuming infrastructure metrics reflected customer experience, I used customer feedback and business metrics to identify the real problem. Okay, so instead of assuming infrastructure metrics, so that dashboard was not showing any errors. So what he did, he then checked the customer feedback. Okay, that is the one thing, and then business metrics to identify the real problem. Now, principal engineer or architect, what he will be answering for this is again based on star method, okay? So situation, multiple teams focused on optimizing internal services independently, but customer still experience inconsistent checkout, performance during major sales event, okay? Some festive season sales was happening, and then that time customer was facing inconsistent checkout. Okay, so the task is, as the technical lead, I wanted to improve the end-to-end customer experience rather than optimizing individual service in isolation. Okay, you were having the team which was working on the individual teams. Okay, it was optimizing individual services. It was optimizing that individual services also on their level, but still customer was facing the checkout issue. Okay, so he said that he will improve the end-to-end customer experience, okay, and not on the service individual service level. So what action he will be taking, I led a cross-functional initiative involving, okay, because you have multiple teams involved here, so now here you require the cross-functional initiative. So product management, okay, he will involve all these things. So first one is product management, second is platform engineering, then payment, inventory, infrastructure, customer support, these all teams he will be involving. Okay, so we analyzed customer journey first and then checkout funnel, okay, what is happening end to end, API latency, payment failure, abandoned carts, regional traffic and infrastructure bottlenecks. So based on their finding, so I proposed, okay, so the architect will propose end-to-end performance budgets. So set maximum acceptable response time and resource usage across the complete application, okay, that is the one thing. Then multi-level caching, checkout, service optimization, better observability, okay, add more attributes there for the metrics, and capacity planning before sales event, okay. After that, graceful degradation for non-critical features. Non-critical features like recommendation and all, they are not very much critical, so you can shut down them for some time. right? So what will be the result? Result would be checkout success improved from 98.9% to 99.95%. Revenue during major sales event increased. Production incident reduced significantly. Okay, and then average checkout latency reduced by over 50%. The framework became standard for other engineering teams. Okay, why this demonstrate customer obsession here? I focused on the complete customer journey rather than individual service metrics, ensuring technical improvement translated into measurable customer and business outcomes. Okay. Now follow-up question here. So let's talk about the follow-up question. What data supported your decision? Okay, software engineer means what data supported your decision means on based on which data he took the action, right? So I relied on API latency dashboard, application log, SQL execution time, and customer complaints to identify the bottlenecks. Okay, so and then what senior software engineer will use, I combine technical metrics. So technical metrics means this thing what software engineer said. Okay, API latency dashboard, then logs, then execution, SQL execution time. Okay, how much time each query is taking, and customer complaints. Okay, now apart from this technical metrics, with business data, including checkout conversion rates, payment success rate, customer support ticket, and distributed tracing to understand the full customer impact. So business data also he has included. Now principal engineer or architect, he will use, I validate decision using both engineering and business metrics. Okay, engineering and business metrics like checkout success rate, cart abandonment, customer satisfaction, API latency P95, P99. Okay, and then revenue impact, incident frequency, and infrastructure utilization. So this ensures we have optimized the customer outcome rather than isolated technical metrics. Okay. Follow-up question 2 is related to business impact. So software engineer will say reducing checkout latency improved customer experience, decreased cart abandonment, and increased successful purchase. Correct? Very straightforward. Senior software engineer will say improving payment reliability, reduced operational support cost, increased successful transaction, and improved customer trust. So this is how it is impacting business. Okay, their decision. Principal engineer will say the initiative improved both customer satisfaction and business performance by increasing successful orders, reducing operational cost, minimizing production incident, and creating a scalable platform for the future growth, so that future teams will also use the same template. Okay, same platform. Now follow-up question 3 is related to what would you change. Okay, so software engineer will say that looking back, see once that issue happened, right now from next time onwards, what you will change so that this one will not occur again. So he's saying that looking back, I would introduce performance monitoring and automated alerting, okay, earlier, so that the issue could have been detected before customer reported it. So alerts can help you there. Correct? Senior software engineer, he will say that I would involve customer support earlier because their insights highlight issues that were not visible through infrastructure monitoring alone. I would add synthetic checkout test to detect problem proactively. Okay, so he is talking here about customer support, infrastructure monitoring, and synthetic checkout test. Now what are those? See, customer support means knows what customers are struggling with. Okay, and then infrastructure monitoring watches server, CPU, memory, and etc, but may miss real user problems. And synthetic checkout test means automated bots that regularly act like a customer and try to complete a purchase. If the test fails, the team will get the alert before many customer are impacted. The principal engineer will say about this is I would invest earlier end-to-end observability, customer journey analytics, and performance testing during peak traffic simulation. Okay, he will simulate the same thing earlier only, preventing customer issues to more valuable than reacting quickly once they occur. Okay, so preventing, you just prevent the customer issue now instead of after that once it is occur then reacting on that. Correct? So that's it. Thank you.